What do Miatas got that MR2s don't? A fourth generation.
Hey MX-5. Hey MX-5.
2016 Mazda MX-5 ND Grand Touring. MX-5 MD is Pink Floyd coming to terms with their legacy and performing The Pulse with full lasers, a transforming disco ball, and nothing but the hits. Wish You Were Here, Comfortably Numb, Breathe, and Brain Damage, which casuals think is a song called Dark Side of the Moon. But like classic blue jeans, the MX-5 had to get wider to let fans keep their rock and roll lifestyle. We've come a long way from the cute MX-5 NA. The ND isn't dangerous feeling. It doesn't bounce and scamper. It doesn't kick out Rockette style. The ND is a sure-footed cruiser? It has to be. ND has to have taller overdrive gears because owners want to road trip. ND has to be pedestrian safe with a blunt nose and crash protection with windshield support strong enough to support the car if your dumbass flips it. Don't test this for Christ's sake. But my point is, the MX-5 had to evolve or die, something the beautiful but terminal MR2 couldn't do. Angry headlights. I don't like them. Miata, yeah, you're 28 years old, but you're still a Labrador on a greeting card, not a pit bull on a rap album. But I know why you're there, angry headlights. Like your wide stance, it's survival. It works like this. MX-5 fans are going to buy you anyway, so you don't have to market to them too much. Muscle car enthusiasts want the new Camaro or snorty Mustang, so it's pointless to try to break into that market. The tuner market buys cars based on how much room is under the hood. They're easy to please. Make sure there's enough space for a big turbo and a Coyote motor, and you're good. Why didn't I say LS? Because if you make room for a Coyote, you automatically make room for an LS because LS motors are smaller. The market you want is Miller Lite men who are looking at drop-top BMWs, E46s, Z4s. You want them because they want to buy new, but might have to buy used because of Bavarian price points. Miller Lite men want a little fun roadster as long as no one will say anything. See, he loves the groovy harmony and rhythm of Closer to Find by Indigo Girls, but he'll change the radio station if anybody else is in the car. He has a Memorex mix CD that he intentionally mislabeled Chad Reinhardt Live because what's really on the CD is Purple Rain by Prince, Freedom 90 by George Michael, a cover of 20th Century Boy by Placebo, Oh Lord by Foxy Shazam, Which One of You Queers Gonna Suck My Dick by Wheel Walker Jr., and Night Swimming by R.E.M. He's more cultured than he's ready to admit. He just needs a beard for his lunch pail friends. And angry headlights are just enough. Driving dynamics. The MX-5 MD is slow car fast, and it's the only modern car I've ever driven that does this. The ND is the fourth generation MX-5, which debuted in 2015 for the 2016 model year. It's slimmer than the third gen model, with a shorter wheelbase and shorter ground clearance. It also features improved visibility, despite the fact that the seat is deeper in the car than previous years. The exterior has a more distinctive modern shape, in a way that almost doesn't look like a Miata. It's a departure from the traditionally rounded crack pipe shape of the older Miatas. It's got this angry butch look with a grill that looks like an uncle's open mouth shouting out racial slurs on the 4th of July. And the back of the car is very Jaguar. Yeah, listen to my W I put in Jaguar. Whoa. But Mazda makes up the difference with some of the improved interior features for the 2016, which include a new steering wheel, center console, and gauge cluster. It's a clean setup, even if the removable cup holders can only be moved from one place to another, and that other place is behind the arm. Just look at this. The engine. The car has a 2-liter Skyactiv straight 4, makes about 155 horsepower, which is less than the 167 of its predecessor, but the ND weighs 200 pounds less as a compromise of sorts, coming in at roughly 2,300 pounds, and it also ups its torque from 140 to 148. And this is very important. Look at this motor. There is no plastic crap on top of that. The valve cover looks the same. Yep, as the original NA. You did a good job. Make it. Why not show it off? There's no stupid I love this. It's the traditional front engine rear-wheel drive layout and coupled to a manual transmission that's paired with a shifter that has a delightful bit of feedback. It even shakes when the car idles a little bit. It's got this really satisfying notch feeling to it. It's short but not too loose, and it's not too stiff either. It's like moving a spoon through water. This is Roland's daily driver. He bought it a week before we filmed it, making this the newest car we've ever done. Seriously, it only has about 600 miles on it when we filmed this. I mean, it takes Roland about 40 miles both way to get to work. And when you consider that Roland's previous daily driver was a 9th generation Civic Si from 2002, is a pretty big upgrade because he couldn't help it. After getting the opportunity to drive a Porsche Boxster during a trip to California, Roland was bitten by the performance bug. He wanted a car like the Boxster, but something that didn't cost $70,000. And the 2016 MX-5 won Car of the Year from Wheels Magazine in 2016. So it's no surprise why Roland went with this. He's averaging a touch over 30 miles per gallon, although factory numbers suggest gas mileage as high as 34 on premium fuel. The tank is small, which makes it seem like it drinks more gas than it really does. It's slow car fast. It's fun. I find the ride when the road gets rough to get equally rough with it. That's really down to these wheels. There's not a whole lot of rubber on these wheels. I guess they're going for the either track or everything's doing narrow, thin tires these days. You look back at the original NA, there's a lot of rubber there. So that's one thing that the NA has over this thing. But 30 years later, we have a car that fits the bill of the original NA, albeit with a higher standard of build quality placed upon it, considering it carries the Miata name. Except, surprise, surprise, it doesn't. Whether they're trying to sound futuristic or want the car to sound less foreign, or maybe they think the word Miata is a little bit too feminine for the type of guys I was describing earlier, you won't find the word Miata anywhere on this car. It's just an MX-5. Everywhere. It's like how WWE tries to get everybody to call the fans WWE Universe instead of just calling them fans. But no one does that because who the hell talks like that? Except in every respect, at least in North America, this is still a Miata, even as its exterior proportions change. On one hand, sports cars have gotten bigger over the years, and they've taken us further and further away from the classic roadsters of the 1950s. But Mazda, thank you Mazda for keeping with the philosophy that slow car fast is always more fun than fast car fast.
Muscle car enthusiasts won't want what Miller Lite enthusiasts would hunt. I want that MX-5.